All right, here we go. 5 versus 5. Frank versus Eddie. Queensbury versus Matchroom. I'm going to break it down alongside Darren Barker in association with William Hill. We're going to look at the fight, some really good ones as well. A lot of 50-50 matchups. At worst, 60-40. At worst. There's one that might be a bit 60-40. The rest, I think, are pick-em fights. All right, so let's talk about the big boys first. Deontay Wilder, who is back coming off that Joseph Parker defeat against Zhilei Zhang, who is also coming off a Joseph Parker defeat. Talk to me. How's this one play out?
What a show, by the way. You're right. What a show.
That's ridiculous.
It's so unique,
Ridiculous.
so original.
Ridiculous.
Cannot wait. Yeah, the big boys. I'm
These
going.
two are big boys as well.
Yeah, I'm going Zhang here.
Really?
Yeah.
So you're going the southpaw Zhang.
Yeah.
So you're going for the southpaw left hook to land before the big right hand of Wilder.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I don't know how much fight is left in Wilder. That is my concern. There is every chance that he may move the same as he did against Parker Wilder and detonate a few more bombs, well, a lot more than he did in the Parker fight, because he just didn't.
Didn't detonate
there
anything.
was the odd occasion in a couple of the rounds, you thought, oh, here we go. But we may see more of that. He's not going to be the aggressor in this fight. The only thing with Zhang is, though, is that lackluster, slow pace that he fights at. It's so frustrating.
His engine runs empty.
It's
the tank
so frustrating.
empties after round
but
5.
even when he dropped Parker, it's not like he really puts his foot on the gas and lets shots go.
40.
I know, but still, it's so frustrating for me. So I would expect someone to get in his ear. He's got to be an intelligent man himself also and think, do you know what, if I hurt my opponent, I've got to go hell for leather.
Is this last chance saloon for either? This is
Exactly
it now,
that, exactly.
Loser leaves town.
For me.
I hate saying that, but you know what I
No,
mean? Loser leaves
yeah,
town.
for me, definitely. Whoever loses this, see you later. You know, it was nice.
I think this could be an old school prize fighter for you, younger generation. Might have to Google that. I think this could be a 3-round shootout. I think this is going to be carnage for the first 3 rounds. I think both of them latter on in fights.
And I hope you're right there in the fact that I hope Wilder leaves it all in the ring. Do you know what? This is my last crack. I'm either going to get a massive fight with AJ or whoever, Usyk, but I need to win this fight. Let's just go out there and do my thing. I don't know how much fight is left in
So
me.
you're going Zhang?
I'm going Zhang.
I'm going Deontay Wilder. I'm going Bronze Bomber to show there's still something left in that
You're
right
confident?
hand. No.
No.
I wouldn't put anything on this. Right, if you've got any money, keep it in your bank, in your pocket. Don't put anything on this fight. All right, sticking with the heavyweights. Daniel Dubois versus Filip Hrgovic. I love this fight. I love it. Daniel Dubois called out Filip Hrgovic. I'm still not sold on Filip Hrgovic, but he is unbeaten. He is a southpaw as well. Daniel Dubois can crack. We know that. Coming off a good win against Jarrell Miller. Who wins this one? And by the way, as an extra little carrot being dangled, the winner of this fight could be crowned the new IBF heavyweight champion. So this is a world title fight. Go on.
Yeah, I think this will be a Hrgovic win. Yeah, and don't get me wrong, this is one of the real 50-50s. Yeah, I know what you're saying, and I think he will take Dubois, that is, a lot of confidence from the Miller victory. Sort of
Whereas
back.
Hrgovic fought Mark Demori.
Yeah.
But
to me, Filip Hrgovic strikes me as someone that doesn't listen to all the negativity. He truly believes he's going to reign supreme in this division. I have no doubt that's his mindset.
Yeah.
And I think he goes into this with the same sort of seek and destroy mentality. And it may be Daniel Dubois for a lot of the rounds, kind of not surviving, but trying to
Can't
stay
get
out.
there. Just can't get there.
And kind of staying out of harm's way. And
get you.
if this does get deep, dark, and horrible at times, which I'm sure it will, there's still going to be those questions.
Even though he answered them against Jarrell Miller.
Sorry, Jarrell Miller, come on.
Okay,
I'm not going to get too carried away with that Miller victory. I think he ticks some boxes and he'll take a lot of confidence from that. But, you know, there's higher levels, and Filip Hrgovic is a higher level than
And
Miller.
he bashed him up in sparring as well.
Yeah.
Hrgovic bashed up Daniel Dubois.
That's the other thing.
That was the other
I was
thing
going
as
to
well.
jump
So he kinda
onto
knows,
the mental mindset.
I've done you already. I will do you again.
And I fancy Hrgovic.
All right, I mentioned there's 50-50 fights. This is 100% a 50-50 fight. It's in the middleweight division, your former division. Hamza Shiraz versus Ammo Williams. Take my money. You could get rid of everything else on this card. That fight there is a pick-em fight. So I'm going to pass it over to you because I have no idea how that fight's going to play out. Who are you picking?
Okay, right. I'm a big fan of both. I really am. Me and Ammo Williams have had our little spat in the past.
Certainly
but
have.
I'm a big fan of him and certainly his boxing ability. Shiraz is honestly, he's a very good fighter, really good talent. Didn't look good against Bradley Skeet, but I've got a lot of
As at 154.
Yeah,
he's
yes,
moved
yes,
up. He's moved
yes,
up there. Yeah.
Granted, but it's a real tough one. Look, I was so impressed
Ammo
with
a bit more explosive.
Ammo in his
Hamza
last
the
fight in
better boxer?
Vegas when he fought Yasser Mumba.
Go on.
I know there's tougher tasks. He coming at late notice, Mumba, but still, you can only beat it in front of you. And it was, for me, the best performance of Ammo Williams' career so far. There was just a bit of everything there. He was just dictating in every sort of position of the ring, whether it be on the back foot or on the front foot. This for me is the real tough one.
It's a pick and fight.
The real tough one to pick here, but
there's something about Hamza. Don't you look at him and think there's something about him? Even the way he talks, the way he kind of dresses. I know that. What's that got to do with boxing? But he seems such a confident young man.
Yeah.
And we know Ammo sometimes, and he'll admit to this as well, mentally he can drift a bit.
Yeah, against Conway, I didn't think he looked great, and there was moments there I thought, Conway could win this, but I think he's improved since then, not just physically, technically, but mentally, most importantly. I'm really struggling with this one. I'm really struggling. If he uses his attributes, Shiraz, he's got every chance of winning this, you know, behind just the jab. But I think Williams has just got that bit more explosive about him, and I can't believe I'm saying that because Shiraz has looked so good.
So you got Ammo. You got Ammo.
50.5%.
50.5%.
Like just
50.5 to 49.5 Gan Ammo. So far you've gone Wilder, you've gone Herzog, you've gone Ammo, 2-1 Matchroom. All right, this fight. All right, I said the other one was 50-50. This is genuinely 50-50. Nick Ball versus Raymond Ford. Can't call it. This one's actually impossible to call. So we could just move on. Craig Richards now, joking.
Yeah.
This is such
I'm happy with that. I'm happy.
This is almost an impossible one to call. Nick Ball, I thought, beat Ray Vargas. It should be a unification fight. Raymond Ford, a world champion.
Right, Ford was losing. He got that dramatic finish at the end. Won the top.
Yep.
Incredible.
Struggles at the weight.
He struggles at the weight. And Nick Ball comes on so strong.
Yeah.
Nick Wrecking Ball. It's incredible.
Yeah.
Like against Ray Vargas, I thought this was a formality after a few rounds.
And then
he was winning. I mean, he was winning so comfortably.
Yeah.
Boxing nicely, using his advantage. I mean, he was that much taller, that much.
But then Nick Ball seemed to press a button and
It's like they just wound him up a little bit more, and he just went at him, and he's relentless. He kind of uses that disadvantage in height as an advantage, if that makes sense.
He can kind of get in and close and get under jabs, can't he? He can kind of close the distance very quick as well. He's only got really fast feet.
My only concern is if something similar happens in this fight with Ford, that he's losing a lot of the early rounds because he's not on it, he's not switched on, and the speed of Ford is very, very good, not just with hands, but with feet and reactions. He's moving, picking off and nicking the early rounds. Will he have the same kind of impact late that he did against Vargas, dropping Vargas, points off, etc.?
I think Ford, technically a better boxer, and I think he carries his power, as we saw, right, getting the stoppage pretty much in the last few seconds in his last fight. So I'm edging to Ford on this one.
And I'm maybe edging to Ball because he'll learn from that. I don't know, but he'll be learning, I think, from that fight with Vargas, thinking I've got to be a bit quicker, I've got to be a bit sharper, I've got to win some of these early rounds. And if he can make the weight drained, if you want to call it that, Raymond Ford, work and get him into those dark trenches, horrible places later on in a fight. Yeah, but anything.
Do you know what that means, right? Toss the coin.
Toss of a coin.
All right, final one. Craig Richards, who we both adore, fantastic fighter, against Willie Hutchinson, who we equally adore as well. This is probably the one where I think a lot of people, if we're being brutally honest, think Craig might have this one. Although Willie Hutchinson's a good fighter, just a one defeat, WBC light in heavyweight international champion. So he's got a belt of his own, but Craig Richards, I think we know, is a very, very good fighter. Only 2 defeats, that to Joshua Buatsi and the current maybe pound for pound top 5 in Dimitri Bivol. Craig Richards?
Yeah, I'm going Craig here, and I've heard this. I heard it in a fight. I remember Lou DiBella saying this to me when I lost to Sergio Martinez, saying that my stock had risen in defeat.
Pick up those names. Pick up those names there.
And
Lou DiBella and Sergio Martinez, one of the greatest middleweights of all time.
Any opportunity to talk about myself. But he said your stock had risen in defeat to losing to Martinez. And I think that's the same with Craig. Look how well that defeats Bivol aged. And the fight with Buatsi, who I think is a very, very good fighter.
Yeah.
You know, Olympic bronze medalists who come into the pro ranks as a complete, you know,
Wrecking machine.
Yeah. And we see what Craig done in that contest. So I just think the pedigree is with Craig Richards. He's proven at a level, yes, defeats, but shown that he is worthy.
You've got to look at who he's lost to.
Who he's lost
so it's
to.
not just
Bivol,
defeats,
one of
Bivol
the best out there. Yeah.
Buatsi's the top 5 light heavyweight. Bivol, 1 or 2.
And there is that worry with Willie Hutchinson. He did get destroyed against Lennox Clark.
Yeah.
It was a big right hand, you know, had him in all sorts of trouble on the ropes. I've spoken to Willie in the build-up recently, and he said there was things going off outside the ring, out of his control, that weren't putting him 100% in that ring on that night. So, look, he's got a chance. There's lots of good amateur pedigree there from Willie Hutchinson. For Scotland, I think it was in the World Juniors or something like that. Did he even medal, I think?
He medaled, he did medal, yeah.
But that was at a junior. And now you're in there with a Craig Richards who's so confident.
By the way, so big now.
So big. Yeah. And really starting to believe in his power, which I've been told by Peter Sims, Tony Sims, that he punches a lot harder than his record suggests. So that's a worry for me for Willie Hutchinson, alongside the confidence that Craig is showing. So for me, that's a Craig Richards win. And does that make it?
I think that makes it 3-2 Matchroom. Yeah, for you. I think I'm the other way.
3-2
Queensbury. Yeah.
But anything could happen. This show is incredible, where, these are real 50-50 fights.
I love it. I love this 5 versus 5 thing. Look, Frank and Eddie are both desperate to win, because the history runs deep. We know that. It is Barry Hearn and Frank Warren from years ago, by the way, which sells this even better. But look, so many good 50-50 fights. Hopefully this isn't the end of the 5 versus 5. Hopefully we take it international, we take it over here domestically, and more to come. So I've gone Queensbury, you've gone Matchroom. Works for Matchroom most of the times. It's not the reason he's gone there, it's just how it works with these picks. Anyway, enough from me, enough from this man. We'll see you in the next one.